Hey YouTube, just wanted to give you guys an update. This is really technically day 2 of ownership. Heavy driven day for me, so this was a really good test of what to expect from the battery going out, driving consistently. I left my house this morning with a range of 173 miles. I didn't charge last night on purpose, wanted to see kind of how the battery would hold up throughout the day. All in all, today, from home to dropping off my baby to my first appointment and my second appointment and then back to the office, a total of 103 miles. For those of you guys that are aware of the Chicagoland area, I started in northwest side of Chicago, went to pretty much downtown Chicago, out to Palatine, Illinois, and then up to Woodstock, and then back to Arlington Heights, which is where my office is. I'm parked right now at the Supercharger. I'll give you guys some footage of that right now. But all in all, 103-mile drive. Started the trip with 173-mile range. I just pulled up to the Supercharger, and we've got 40-mile range left on the battery, which is, call it 30 miles less than, where I started based on the drive. So I used about 30 miles worth of, you can call it spirited driving or driving above the speed limit with the flow of traffic, accelerating, etc. So not too bad. I'm about to plug up here and I'll give you guys some additional footage. This is a Supercharger in Rolling Meadows. This is actually the busiest I've seen this Supercharger. It's got a total of 10 stalls at the moment, including my vehicle. We've got 5 vehicles charging, so we've got 5 stalls open. One quick tip that I've kind of learned and read up about, you've got all these Superchargers labeled with 5A, 5B, 4B. Right now I'm hooked up to 4A. If there's a vehicle next to yours charging at 4B, which would be this port here, I would be getting less power than what I'm currently getting. So if possible, try to get a station that isn't sharing power or electricity with the next. Alright, so I just got back from lunch. I got a chance to eat at Chipotle here while my vehicle was sitting at the Supercharger. All in all, I've probably been here a total of 45 minutes or so. I've got about 5 minutes left on the charge before it gets to my charge limit that I've set. This is probably my most convenient Supercharger for me. It's literally a 5-minute walk from my office if I wanted to drop off my car here, leave it charging, walk over to the office. So about a 5-minute walk to my office, but there's also a ton of options for eating. A Five Guys, I eat at Chipotle, there's a Jimmy John's, there's a Mediterranean restaurant, a Noodles and Company. So there's tons and tons of options available for everybody to eat, as well as one of these superstores, so you'll be able to do groceries and normal shopping if you're here during normal business hours. As I mentioned, this is probably the busiest I've seen this charger. I've driven by here a couple times now, since it is right by my office. When I got here, there was about 5 vehicles charging, and even with that, I didn't have to share electricity or a stall with anybody else, so I got the max possible charging rate for my vehicle. I'm about to show you guys the screen here as it just finished charging. So let me go ahead and show you guys that. So I have my charge limit set at 85% of my total battery. So you can see the message is saying charge complete. I'm up to a 276-mile range. Based on Tesla's recommendation, you always want to leave a little wiggle room for optimal battery life in the long term. So you never really want to charge up to 100% unless you're going to be doing a road trip or a lot of driving on that day. I'm just going to be going home after this, and it's about an 18-mile drive from work, so I'm not necessarily needing to go anything more than what I did now. One thing that is really awesome to me is that it's added 237 miles of range in charging within about 45 minutes. And the total cost is right down here in the corner. You can see if I was paying for this. Now you guys may have watched my delivery video. I do have a Performance Model 3, so if I was paying for this, the cost out of pocket for me would have been $14.16 in charging at this Rolling Meadows Supercharging. The state of Illinois, Tesla has a rate set of 24 cents per kilowatt hour. The same equivalent had I pulled up to a gas station with 40 miles and filled up 230 miles worth, I probably would have paid close to $50, just based on premium rates, premium gas charges. My old vehicle was a Lexus IS, so I always had a pump premium. So I want to say it's about $369, $379. So I would have been in that $60, $65 range to get the same amount of miles in that vehicle.